Hey there. You ever learned something about how your own mind works? Something so simple, so obvious in hindsight, that you just stop and think, why has nobody ever told me this before? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. We're opening up a psychological toolkit from Dr. Julie Smith, and it is packed with those kinds of game changing insights.
I mean, seriously, right? Sometimes it feels like we're just dropped into this world, trying to figure out anxiety or motivation or tough relationships with zero instructions. We're just winging it. But what if there actually were a few key pages from that missing manual? What if there were simple skills that could help you navigate your own head? This is the exact phrase Dr. Smith hears all the time in her therapy room. It's that incredible aha moment when a simple truth finally clicks and makes sense of so much confusion. These are the kinds of truths we're going to explore, and we're starting with the absolute foundation of, well, pretty much everything. So, if you want to build a better future, you've got to start by looking at the blueprints from your past. And that's where we find something called our core beliefs. Think of them as the silent architects that designed how you react to almost everything in your life.
Now, the most important thing to get about core beliefs is that you don't even know you have them most of the time. They're not thoughts you consciously think, they're more like the operating system running in the background of your mind. They're constantly whispering these assumptions, like, I'm not good enough, or the world is a dangerous place.
So, how does this whole thing work in real life? Well, it usually starts with some experience when you were young. That experience then forms a deep belief, something like, I am unlovable. To protect yourself from that pain, you create a bunch of rules to live by. Like, okay, if I'm perfect and please everyone, then nobody can ever reject me. But here's the problem. Eventually, that rule is going to break. And when it does, it triggers that original painful core belief, causing all this distress. Just seeing this cycle is the first crucial step to breaking it. Okay, so if core beliefs are the programming from our past, how do we start writing new code for our future? That brings us to our next amazing tool, our values. And the best way to think about values is like a compass. They show you the direction you want to head in life. And getting the difference between goals and values is absolutely key. A goal is a destination. It's a thing you get or achieve, and then it's done. A value, though, is a direction. It's a path you walk your whole life. It's not about what you get at the end of the road. It's about how you want to be while you're walking it. This simple switch in questioning changes everything. Stop asking, what do I want to get? And start asking, who do I want to be? In your career, do you want to be collaborative, creative? In your relationships, do you want to be compassionate, present, brave? Your values are the answers to that question. All right, so we've got the old blueprints and we've got our new compass. But how do we actually get the engine started and move forward? You know, the way real lasting change happens is probably not what you think.
We have this idea that to change our lives, we need some massive, explosive transformation. But Dr. Smith says that's just a myth. Real change, the kind that actually sticks, is quiet. It's slow, it's made carefully, day after day, bit by bit by bit. And this is where the magic happens. We totally underestimate the power of getting just 1% better each day. It feels like nothing at the time, right? But those tiny improvements compound on each other, and over a year, that 1% a day adds up to something massive, something truly life-changing. Okay, let's zoom in a bit and get really practical. What do you do when you're overwhelmed or anxious right now, in this very moment? Think of these next tools as your go-to psychological first aid kit. This is such a simple but incredibly powerful idea. When your mind is spinning out of control with worry or anxiety, trying to think your way out of it is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It just doesn't work. The fastest way to calm your mind is to first calm your body. And box breathing is one of the best ways to do it. It's so simple. This pattern of breathing literally signals to your nervous system that you're safe, and it slows down that whole fight or flight response. Your heart rate comes down, and the best part, you can do it anywhere, in a stressful meeting, on the subway, and no one has to know. It's your own little superpower. So that brings us to our final tool. And honestly, this one might be the most counterintuitive, mind-bending idea of all. It's a concept that is going to completely flip how you think about confidence. Let that sink in for a second. We spend so much of our lives waiting. We wait to feel confident before we act. We tell ourselves, oh, I'll ask for that raise once I feel ready, or I'll go talk to that person once I'm not so nervous. But that's the trap. That thinking keeps you stuck forever. And here it is. This is the big secret. We have it completely backward.
Confidence is not the ticket you need to start doing something scary. Confidence is the prize you get after you do the scary thing. It's the consequence of your actions, not the prerequisite for them. You build it by proving to yourself you can survive discomfort. And that question ties it all together. Think about your values, that person you want to be, the brave person, the kind person, the creative person. Now, what is one small, maybe even tiny, uncomfortable step you can take today that moves you in that direction? That's not just a nice thought. That's where real change begins.